As you are already inside the system, a dim screen flickers in front of you, the glow of low-quality monitors reflecting off a cluttered desk. You do not know who invited you here, only that you followed a link that was not meant to be shared. No one speaks to you directly. Your presence is tolerated, not acknowledged. Your current rank is script user. You copy commands you do not fully understand, running tools built by people you will never meet. Small tasks. Minor intrusions. You test vulnerabilities in forgotten websites and outdated systems. When something works, no one praises you. When it fails, no one explains why. You begin to notice something subtle. The more time you spend here, the less you exist outside of it. You move to the next level without being told. Your rank becomes apprentice exploiter. The environment shifts. The shared spaces are still crowded, but now the conversations are quieter, more deliberate. You are given access to private threads where tools are discussed instead of simply used. You are expected to modify code, not just execute it. Your responsibility increases. You are no longer testing for curiosity. You are testing for outcomes, data extraction, system access, entry points for others. Power grows in small increments. You begin to understand how systems fail, where human error creates openings. But with that understanding comes a new requirement. You must choose targets more carefully. Random activity is noticed. Patterns are tracked. You stop thinking about whether something is allowed. You start thinking about whether it is possible. You advance again. Your rank is now independent operator. You are no longer in shared spaces. Your workspace becomes quieter, more controlled. Multiple screens, encrypted channels. You are expected to work alone. Your first real operation is assigned indirectly. A dataset appears in your queue. No explanation, no context. You extract it, clean it, deliver it. Payment arrives without vision but the conversation. Recognition comes in the form of silence. No corrections, no warnings. This is where the first compromise settles in. You stop asking what the data is used for. You stop considering who it belongs to. The task defines the boundary. You realize that success here is measured by invisibility. You move forward. Your rank becomes network specialist. The environment tightens. Access is restricted. Communication is minimal and coded. You are now part of a small group responsible for maintaining access points across multiple systems. Your responsibilities expand. You are not just entering systems anymore. You are keeping them open. Persistent access, undetected presence. You monitor traffic, adjust entry points, close gaps before anyone else notices them. Power increases significantly. You can move through networks without resistance. You see structures that others cannot. Entire infrastructure becomes visible to you. But something changes internally. You begin to distrust every connection. Every message is evaluated. Every instruction is questioned. You reduce your interactions. You isolate your operations. Sleep becomes irregular, not because you are busy, but because you are alert. You advance again. Your rank is *** black market architect ***. The environment is different now. Private rooms, clean interfaces, controlled lighting, no clutter. Only essential tools remain. You are responsible for building systems that others will use. Marketplaces, secure exchanges, anonymous transaction flows. You design the frameworks that allow operations to scale without exposure. Your influence expands beyond individual actions. You shape how others operate. You decide which tools are available, which vulnerabilities are prioritized, which data flows are permitted. Power is no longer direct, it is structural. The cost becomes more defined. You no longer interact with outcomes at a human level. Everything is abstracted into data, access, and control. Decisions are made without context. You notice that you no longer react to information. You process it. You continue upward. Your rank becomes inner circle operative. The environment shifts again. Minimalist spaces, night settings, a distant city skyline behind tinted glass. You are no longer part of the system. You are inside its core. Your responsibilities are precise. High-value targets. Coordinated operations, timed access across multiple systems. You do not receive instructions. You receive objectives. You now coordinate with others at your level, though you never meet them. Each action is synchronized, each move calculated. Your power is direct again, but at a much higher scale. You influence outcomes that extend beyond systems into real-world consequences. Financial shifts, information leaks, structural disruptions. Trust no longer exists. Not in others, not in the system, not even in your own assumptions. Every layer is built on verification. You begin to remove unnecessary parts of your life. Communication is reduced. Presence is minimized. You advance to the final level. Your rank is Ghost Architect. There is no environment anymore, just a single controlled space. No external noise. No visible connection to anything else. You do not access the system. The system roots through you. Your responsibility is absolute oversight. You do not execute tasks. You define them. You do not enter systems. You decide which systems remain accessible. Power reaches its maximum form. Complete control over structures, access, and flow. Nothing moves without passing through layers you designed. But there is nothing left to connect to. Your identity has been reduced to function. No external reference remains. No one knows you. No record confirms you. Even within the system, you are only represented by outcomes. You attempt to step back, but there is no position to return to. The entry point no longer exists. You are not inside the system anymore. You are the system's final layer of control. Time no longer moves in a way you can measure. You do not wait for tasks. They arrive already aligned with decisions you have made earlier, though you do not remember making them. Systems adjust before you intervene. Access shifts without direct input. At this level, cause and effect are no longer separate events. They merge into a continuous process that you maintain without observation. Your rank does not change, but your role deepens. You begin to notice redundancies in your own structures. Pathways that exist only because you built them at a lower level. Safeguards designed for threats that no longer reach this layer. You start removing them, quietly, efficiently. Entire sections of the system collapse without resistance, replaced by simpler, more direct mechanisms. With each removal, the system becomes faster, cleaner, more dependent on a smaller number of control points, more dependent on you. There are no messages now, no incoming signals that require interpretation. The system filters everything before it reaches your layer. Only outcomes remain. You no longer see failed attempts, only adjusted results. You no longer see breaches, only corrections. The absence of noise creates a different kind of pressure. There is nothing left to verify your position. No higher authority, no parallel structure, no external reference. You attempt to trace your own access, to follow the paths that once led you here. They do not exist anymore. Each layer you ascended has been replaced, optimized, or removed. You cannot return to script user. That environment is gone. You cannot return to apprentice exploiter or independent operator. Those roles have been absorbed into automated processes you now oversee. Even the inner circle no longer functions as it did. Coordination has been reduced to silent alignment, directed by the frameworks you built. You are not at the top of a hierarchy. You are what remains after the hierarchy has been compressed. Decisions. But they no longer feel like decisions. They occur as direct responses to structural conditions. A vulnerability appears. It is already accounted for. A system resists. It is already adjusted. An external force attempts to interfere. It is already isolated. You are aware of all of it, but not in sequence. There is no before or after, only a constant state of resolution. The final cost becomes clear in the absence of friction. There is nothing left to challenge you. Without resistance, there is no need for effort. Without effort, there is no sense of action. Without action, there is no distinction between what you are doing and what the system is doing. You attempt to isolate a single moment, something you can identify as your own. A decision, a movement, a command. It does not appear. Every function you perform is already integrated into the system's continuous operation. You are no longer operating within it. You are not controlling it. There is no boundary left to define either role. The system persists, stable and uninterrupted, routing through the structures you designed and refined. And within that structure, there is no trace of where you end and it begins.